Let's get right into it. Number 10. The right to record police in public. In the United States, you have the legal right to film police officers in public, openly and without permission. The First Amendment protects your right to gather information, which explicitly includes recording government officials in public spaces. An officer cannot legally order you to stop recording just because it makes them uncomfortable. They cannot grab your phone, demand your footage, or arrest you simply for filming them. Doing so violates your constitutional rights. This is established law, confirmed by multiple federal courts. But there are two strict rules. First, you cannot interfere. If you are screaming in an officer's face or physically blocking an arrest, that is a different story. Stay at a reasonable distance. Second, stay calm. An officer who knows you are recording and sees you are not a threat has zero legal ground to stop you. If an officer tells you to stop, calmly state, "I am aware of my First Amendment right to record in public." Say nothing else and keep recording. Number 9. The credit score resurrection. A negative mark on your credit report feels like a life sentence. A forgotten bill from 2019 is still tanking your score in 2026, but you can fight back. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you have the right to dispute any item on your credit report. When you do, the credit bureau has 30 days to prove it is accurate. Here's the secret. That debt may have been sold 5 times. By the time it lands on your report, the collection agency often has sloppy records, wrong dates, wrong amounts, and frequently, no original contract. When you dispute it, the collector must prove every single detail is 100% accurate. Most of the time, they simply can't. They bought your debt in a bundle of thousands, and the original paperwork is gone. If they cannot verify it within 30 days, the credit bureau is legally required to delete it, like it never happened. Even if the debt was yours, if they lack the paperwork, they lose. It's like a parking ticket being dismissed because the officer wrote down the wrong license plate. Go to annualcreditreport.com, pull your reports, send a dispute letter by certified mail for every error. You are not begging, you are telling them, prove it. Number 8. The wedding photographer trap. You spent $5,000 on a wedding photographer. You post one photo on Instagram, and they send you a legal takedown notice for your own wedding photo of your own face. Welcome to the brutal reality of copyright law. The moment a photographer clicks the shutter, it is legally their image, not yours, even if you paid them thousands. By default, you didn't buy the photos, you only bought their service. Without the right contract, you're basically buying a DVD. You own the plastic disc, but you don't own the movie. You can't copy it, sell it, or broadcast it. Worse, some photographers use this legal ownership to sell your private photos to stock image websites. Your face, on your wedding day, suddenly in a random dental office ad. There is exactly one thing you need in your contract to stop this: a broad personal use license. The contract must state the photographer grants you a license to reproduce, display, and share the photographs for personal use. That one sentence is the difference between owning your memories and renting them. Before you sign anything, search the contract for that clause. Number 7. Leaving the hospital against medical advice. You're in a hospital bed. You feel fine, but doctors want to keep you overnight. You want to leave. They bring you a form that says AMA, against medical advice, warning that your insurance might refuse to pay. Most people, intimidated, stay. But here's what they don't tell you. If you're a mentally competent adult, a hospital cannot physically stop you from leaving. A hospital is not a prison. The doctors are not your wardens. Physically restraining you or blocking the door isn't just unethical. It can be classified as false imprisonment. That AMA form isn't for you, it's for them. It's a legal shield to prove they warned you, protecting the hospital from a lawsuit. The threat that your insurance won't pay? It's largely a myth. Insurers must generally cover care you already received, regardless of how you checked out. This right has limits. If a judge has declared you incompetent, or you're under an involuntary psychiatric hold, different rules apply. But for a regular adult, you have the absolute right to get up, get dressed, and walk out. A hospital can advise you, but it cannot hold you captive. Number 6. The repair and deduct clause. Your landlord hasn't fixed your broken heater in 3 weeks. It is January. You've sent texts and emails, but nothing happens. In most states, you don't have to just freeze. It is a legal concept called repair and deduct. You hire a qualified professional to fix the problem yourself. Then, you subtract that exact cost from your next rent check, legally. But there are strict rules. You can't use this for a squeaky door. First, the problem must seriously affect your health and safety. Think a broken heater in winter, no hot water, or a major roof leak. Second, you must give your landlord written notice and a reasonable time to fix it. A text won't cut it. Send a dated email or certified letter to create a paper trail. Most states require you to wait 14 to 30 days. Third, the repair cost is usually capped by law, often at 1 month's rent. The key is documentation. Take photos of the problem. Keep copies of every message. Get a detailed receipt from the repair person. If your landlord tries to evict you, That documentation is your entire defense. This right exists in most states, but rules vary. Before you spend a dime, Google repair and deduct and your state's name. Number 5. Freezing your credit for free. You can lock down your financial identity in 10 minutes for free, and almost nobody does it. A credit freeze locks your files at the 3 major bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. When your credit is frozen, no one can open a new credit card, get a car loan, or take out a mortgage in your name. Identity thieves are stopped cold. They're trying to break into a house with no doors. This service used to cost money. It only became free in 2018 after the massive Equifax data breach, where the social security numbers of 147 million Americans were stolen. Go to each bureau's website: Equifax.com, Experian.com, and TransUnion.com. Look for credit freeze or security freeze. The process costs $0 and takes minutes. When you need to apply for credit yourself, you temporarily unfreeze it, also for free. You can set it to thaw for a few days and then automatically refreeze. You can and should do this for your kids too. Identity thieves love using children's clean social security numbers, and the crime usually isn't discovered until they turn 18. You can freeze your child's credit right now, for free. Number 4. Your digital ghost. When you die, your Facebook account doesn't. It becomes a digital ghost, sending automated birthday reminders to your grieving family. There are over 30 million such accounts on Facebook alone. You have the legal right to decide what happens to your digital life after you are gone. Most states let your family legally control your accounts, but only if you set it up beforehand. Without it, your family could spend months fighting tech companies just to access your photos. Spouses have been locked out of a deceased partner's iCloud, losing a decade of family pictures forever. This also applies to your money. A PayPal balance, a monetized YouTube channel, or a Venmo account can be locked behind a password. That money doesn't automatically go to your family. It eventually goes to the state as unclaimed property. Go into your account settings now. Facebook has a legacy contact setting. Google has an inactive account manager. Apple has a digital legacy feature. Assign someone you trust. It takes 20 minutes, and it saves your family a world of pain and endless red tape on the worst day of their lives. Number 3. The right to see the evidence against you. In the movies, a lawyer reveals surprise evidence mid-trial. The witness gasps. The jury is stunned. In a real American courtroom, that's illegal. In criminal cases, the prosecution must show you all their cards before trial. This is called discovery. They must hand over everything: witness statements, forensic reports, and surveillance footage. But they also have to hand over evidence that helps you. This comes from a 1963 Supreme Court case, Brady versus Maryland. The court ruled that if prosecutors find anything suggesting you might be innocent, they cannot hide it. Doing so is a Brady violation, one of the most serious forms of prosecutorial misconduct. Entire convictions are thrown out because of this. People have been freed from prison after decades because a prosecutor buried a single piece of evidence they were legally required to share. The justice system requires both sides to know the evidence beforehand. The surprise reveal isn't just Hollywood fiction. It's a violation of your constitutional rights. Real courtrooms are about paperwork, not plot twists. Number 2. Invoking your right to remain silent. You've seen it on TV. You have the right to remain silent. Most people assume that means you just shut your mouth to be protected. They're wrong. Staying quiet is not the same as invoking your right to remain silent. In 2013, the Supreme Court ruled in Salinas versus Texas. A suspect stayed quiet during police questioning. Later, the prosecutor argued his silence was suspicious, implying guilt. The Supreme Court agreed, because the man never explicitly said he was using his right. Your silence can be used against you. Invoking your right cannot. To turn the right on, you have to speak. You must say the magic words out loud. I am invoking my right to remain silent. Once you say that phrase, your silence becomes a legal shield. It cannot be used in court to imply guilt. The right only works if you speak up to claim it. After you invoke it, you must actually stay silent. If you say the words and then keep chatting with the cops, you've just waived the right. Say the words, then stop talking until your lawyer arrives. Number 1. The right to die with a directive. You're in a coma, unable to speak. Down the hall, a doctor asks a relative you haven't seen in 10 years what to do. That person, who has no idea what you'd want, now holds the power over your life and death. This is not a rare situation. It happens in hospitals constantly. The document that prevents this is an Advance Healthcare Directive, or Living Will. It's a legally binding document you create beforehand that does 2 crucial things. First, you write down exactly what you want. If I have irreversible brain damage, do not keep me alive on machines. Or, I want every possible medical treatment no matter what. Second, you name a specific person, your healthcare agent, to make these decisions for you. This gives your agent legal authority that overrides everyone, your parents, spouse, or adult children. If your family disagrees, your agent's decision is final, legally. This isn't just for old people. A catastrophic car accident can happen at 24. Most states offer free templates on their Department of Health websites. You don't need a lawyer, and it takes 20 minutes to fill out. Without this document, you hand the most personal decision of your life to pure chance. With it, you stay in control, even when you cannot speak. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.